Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that I'm going to show you right now is ABC jumping on the bandwagon of laying out everything about red flag laws and letting that fight fully establish, because make no mistake, people, the things that I've shown you in the fallout from the Rahimi case, you are literally watching the battlefield be laid out and deployed for future fights. And I've shown you MSNBC, and now I'm going to show you ABC, and they're even referencing the NRA. I'm telling you guys, this is bigger than what just happened, as I've said the entire time. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think, and let me know if I land this plane. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. And the content today is something that we're doing that's brand new. We are starting to donate a lot of our ad space reads to charities, because a lot of the things that are so important in what we do would not be possible without Second Amendment, without special operations, without military first responders. And that's what we're dedicating a lot of these spots to. So this is the first one we're doing, and it's with a group called SOW, Special Operations Wounded Warriors. This is not a part of Wounded Warriors, but this is an organization that takes our special ops forces, our special ops personnel, and helps them recoup and get back into the civilization of which they gave so much for. They take them on hunting and fishing trips. They provide service dogs. There's so much stuff. I'm going to show a quick clip of a big trip they have coming up to Kilimanjaro, and there's links into the description box. And this is a great way just to spread awareness so you guys can know what's going on and how we're helping our soldiers.
You know, the wars, quote, are winding down. But the need is still present.
So the trip is a conglomeration of nonprofits and commercial organizations that are coming together.
This is about awareness and help where we can.
People need to know about the problem. People need to know that might be having a problem, that there's help out there.
The effects of war, they stick around.
Everything that I thought the trip was going to be at the start of it is more than that already.
All right, so as I mentioned, is linked right down there in the description box. You're going to see a lot more charity stuff coming from us, because giving back is a huge part of the blessing that we have on this channel, and thank you for checking that out. All right, beautiful people, listen. The second that the Rahimi case came down, and I started looking at the overview, and I started doing a live stream, and I looked into all the concurring opinions and all the dissents. I've read all of them. And the big thing that the gun controllers do not want you to know is how bad they backhanded the gun controllers in this decision. Now, don't be wrong, this is not a absolutely 100% win on the gun rights side. I've never said that, and I won't say that. However, the stuff that they're laying out here about red flag laws and the future of the red flag law fight, because that's what they care about. This entire thing has always been about red flag laws and the groundwork of that fight. They completely ignore all, and I mean all 9 of the justices said you can't deem what is a responsible and not responsible person and take their gun rights away. All of the opinions said that. But they don't say that. In fact, I'm about to walk you through what ABC lays out as the fight and how they kind of lay the groundwork for this. Listen to this, because this is really telling, particularly when you see all the MSNBC stuff that we've already covered, as well as the coverage of the case itself. Listen to this. This is ABC and how they set this bad boy up.
That major Supreme Court ruling on guns, upholding the government's ban, keeping firearms out of the hands of people who are under domestic violence restraining orders. ABC's Perry Russum joins us now with details. Perry, good morning.
Whit, good morning to you. In this ruling, we see conservative justices at odds over how they interpret the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms.
This morning, a victory at the nation's highest court for gun safety advocates. In an 8-1 decision, the Supreme Court upholding a ban on guns for those under domestic violence restraining orders.
I think the court is moving in the right direction when it comes to gun violence.
The case brought by a Texas man with a history of domestic violence who argued the Second Amendment guarantees his right to have a gun. In the decision, conservative justices at odds.
So the whole thing here is they're setting up the controversy between conservative justices. So they're trying to build consternation between the factions in the Supreme Court. Even that little clip that they chose to say from a protester said, I think the Supreme Court's going in the right direction. They are reaffirming what they want. They want the gun control. They want the ability to take guns from people. They want the red flag laws. And in fact, the conservative justices are at odds. Like, there's consternation between the factions, right? Now, again, as I mentioned in the introduction, they didn't say a word about the fact that all 9 justices absolutely demolished the government and the ATF and the DOJ and those arguing for taking away our gun rights around the whole responsible persons thing, because it was a farce when they argued it, and it was a farce in the opinions. They destroyed it. But ABC certainly didn't notice that, because that factors in to red flag laws on the negative side, right? I'm telling you guys, all of this stuff, this is the cutting edge stuff of where this is going to go. Now, let me show you the second one, because now they're going to continue to build the idea and even mention specifically red flag laws, just like MSNBC did in a prior video we did. I think it was yesterday. I'm telling you guys, they're all getting the same show notes. Check this out.
With the opinion of the court, Chief Justice John Roberts writing, an individual found by a court to pose a credible threat to the physical safety of another may be temporarily disarmed consistent with the Second Amendment. Justice Clarence Thomas alone dissenting, writing, today's decision puts at risk the Second Amendment rights of many more.
This statute actually ends up disarming a bunch of law-abiding or otherwise good people that you might not expect when you first look at it.
The executive director of the NRA's lobbying division says the Supreme Court's narrow opinion offers no endorsement of red flag laws or of the dozens of other unconstitutional laws that the NRA is challenging across the country.
Can you see how the battlefield's being shifted and deployed and like basically laid out? Everyone's picking their camps. Who got the hill? Who didn't get the hill? Where do you want to have the fight? The NRA even says this narrow decision. That echoes something we saw from National Association for Gun Rights. That's something we saw from FPC. It is a narrow decision which did nothing to the Bruen decision, did nothing to the Heller decision. It literally leaned on the Heller and Bruen decision, and they did not undermine it. That was the whole point. So they're laying out the idea that the NRA is taking the sides of the red flag laws, and they specifically mentioned a quote from the NRA around red flag laws because they want to have the conversation around red flag laws. They also forgot to mention in this ABC expose the other concurring opinions that specifically laid out due process rights must be observed. They didn't mention that part at all either, but they sure managed to get the word red flag law in. There's conflict between the Supreme Court justice on the conservative side, and the court is moving in the right direction with this. Guys, everything that you're seeing, they're not showing you the parts that would not be good for red flag laws, and they're only showing you the parts that would introduce and suggest red flag laws. What you're watching is selective propaganda in action. And this is where the next fight is going to be, but that's why I'm highlighting it. I hope I landed that plane. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.